Hey everybody, Kneecap here. This video I just kind of want to give an update to everyone about the state of Paladins, more specifically Ret and Holy, because I don't play Prot and Legion. At least I haven't played it, seriously at anything more than like a Heroic or something. So, there's not a bunch of changes coming in 7.1.5 for Paladins, which is fine because I think they're doing pretty well as they are. But the biggest change is going to be with the legendaries. Now, I know a lot of people don't even have one legendary yet, but I actually just got my second one yesterday. And I was very disappointed because while my one legendary is pretty good for Holy, um, my second one I got was, first of all, I was in rat spec when I got it, and it wasn't good for Holy at all, and it still isn't. And it wasn't good for red either, and the belt isn't good for red either. So I don't have good legendaries by any means. Although the belt, in my opinion, is very good for holy. Um, what it does is your blessings will heal a target for 15% of their health. So our main tank is actually a guardian druid who has like 5 million health. So a blessing of freedom heals him for over 500, 600,000 uh, healing, and sometimes more because we also have Resto Shaman, which increases the target's health. So sometimes I'm even healing him more with the Blessing of Freedom. It's kind of like an old crap button for our raid. But anyways, so as Rat that still works, you can still heal with your blessings. It's not as fun, obviously. You're trying to do damage, but it makes you nice utility. And the helmet does damage with your Hammer of Justice, but not enough damage to actually use it or put it in your rotation. So two of the big changes are actually those two legendaries that I already have, which is kind of exciting. As far as Holy goes, the belt is, well, for both of them. Holy, in my opinion, is getting nerfed, but that's just because of my raid comp. It's just because Guardian Druid is my main tank, and my blessings can heal for so much because of it. But the uh, the belt is getting changed from blessings healing to increased healing and damage done during Avenging Wrath, which is obviously a huge buff for Ret. So I'm going to be doing more damage as Ret, so I'm excited about that. But my healing HPS is probably going to stay the same. I'm just going to kind of lose an old crap button, an easy instant cast thing to throw on a Guardian tank if he's low health or getting low on health. So it's pretty much a wash and holy and a huge buff for Ret. Now, the helmet, the damage is getting increased almost double. And based upon my initial testing of it, I'm assuming that I'm going to have to put Hammer of Justice in my rotation with this helmet. It'll be interesting because it doesn't generate holy power or spend holy power, so it's going to be the only move like that you use in your rotation. But the damage is seemingly going to be so high, and we're talking like at least, at least 300k non-crit. Is what we're talking, or right around there for me in my gear, which is about 50,000 more than my Templar's Verdict non-crit. So if it's my strongest move, then you almost have to use it, right? But I'll test it out after the change actually goes through and see. It's a decent stat stick for Holy, I suppose, but it's obviously you don't care if your Hammer of Justice does damage when you're Holy. But for world questing and things like that, it could be very useful. But there's no big changes. There's one change to Holy Paladin talent right now in the PTR. One of your beacon abilities. Let me check and see which one it is. It's the Beacon of Virtue. They're just decreasing the mana cost on that, trying to maybe make more people use it, or people who do use it can use it a little bit more freely without it costing too much mana. And then for Ret Paladins, there's a little change, and that's just to Blessing of Sanctuary, which is a PvP talent. And those are the only changes happening besides the legendaries, and legendaries don't even affect some people, so there's not a ton of legendaries right now. What I will say is, check out my guides already that I have for them. They're still, as of right now, accurate. So there's a post 7.1 Holy Pally guide and a post 7.1 Ret guide. I wasn't completely sure on the Ret guide because I haven't done enough testing, to be honest. But I did go in and do some rating as Ret, and I did parse over 80 on every fight, even with just pug people that didn't do the fight right. One of them we didn't even pop heroism or bloodlust, whatever. We didn't pop that at all, and I still parsed over 80. What I'll tell you is, if you do go back and watch it, I already kind of hinted this, but I can confirm that once your haste is like 23, 22%, maybe even 24%, you're really going to focus on crit. Crit's going to be by far your best stat for ret after you're at that little bit of haste there. You can have a little bit of gap between your judgments and Templar's Verdict, like a second, and that's fine, especially if your crit is higher. I was looking at some other people, and one of the Paladins parsing way high for his gear. Actually, it was because he had, I think, 37% crit. So I think I'm at like 29%, and that 8% crit is probably pretty much the difference. Um, his mastery and versatility, his versatility is like 3% lower, and his mastery is quite a bit lower. But my crit was 8% lower than his, and that was probably the biggest difference there. So definitely want to go for crit for ret, so I'm going to throw that in there. And as Paladin, basically keep your crit up as high as you can always. And besides that, I mean, intellect is still really important too. So don't just get rid of something completely if it doesn't have crit, if it's a huge upgrade, especially if it's a legendary. Like I had an 865 helmet, and it was really high crit, but the legendary helmet that I got, which is more ret, is actually better just because of a huge. It gained as much intellect as what I lost in crit, and then it gained like a ton of other stats as well. So it was actually a net upgrade for me. But you are going to want to keep your crit as high as possible. That's still the same. Mastery is really good for Holy Paladins. Haste is more important if you're doing damage. So if you're trying to do like a damaging dungeon, like you're a healer but you're kind of doing damage to try to make the group go faster, maybe 3-chested or whatever, haste would be important for you then. Haste and crit. So yeah, I'm sorry I don't have anything about prop paladins. I just haven't played it enough. I would just be guessing and speculating too much, and I don't want to give anyone any wrong advice. But that's kind of the state of Holy Paladins and Ret Paladins and where they are. If any big changes happen, I will do an update, or if something is revealed as when we get more gear that a stat priority has changed, then I'll do a guide on that specifically. But good luck to everyone in 7.1.5, and have a good one.